Welcome to the Engineering Podcast, a podcast from the engineers at Rocket.Chat. We will be discussing new implementations, problems faced, what's coming, and everything else related to our daily work, always with a technical perspective to keep you up to date.
Hey folks, how's it going? I'm here. I am Douglas Gilbert from the Apps Engine team, and I'll be your host today. And I think for the next episodes too. This is still we're still discussing that, but uh, yeah, there it is. So I have with me today our current engineering leaders. First, Diego Sampaio from the backend team. Aaron Nagel from the cloud team, Lucia Lucia from the infrastructure team, Guilherme Gazzo from the front end team, Diego Melo from mobile team, and Renato Becker from the Omnichannel team. We are here to share the news. So let me start actually, since I am already speaking. So for the Apps Engine team, we are working on a new callback method for the settings updates. This will allow apps to actually prevent a setting from updating if it gets an invalid value. It's very interesting, like whenever you have like those kind of like very required very strict format settings that you need to like actually validate before it is saved to make sure it works within the whole app system. We are running a discovery sessions actually for the npm bundle, uh, and we found out quite a bunch of stuff that we need to do like before actually like allowing the bundle. One of them, for instance, is we need to kind of like reveal how we store apps inside the server. Otherwise, like with npm packages inside the apps, the size is just going to blow up and go like out of the limits of MongoDB. So we need to find a new way to do that. There was a problem with manual updates of apps that require permissions. They were not permissions were not being handled correctly. There might have been, and they would be assigned incorrectly to the apps that had been fixed. And there was also a compiler problem where it created like a confusing situation whenever you had a file that did not end with the .ts file extension, but rather like had more than one .ts in the file name, and then it created like a very weird situation when you were requiring stuff from inside your app. Now we're handling that much better. And that's it. We also had a planning today for the next sprint cycle, which we are starting tomorrow. And there's going to be like we're going to be also expanding on these npm bundles and solving some problems that have been very inconvenient, let's say, for our workflow in the last moment. So, yep, that's it. Stay tuned for the next updates. Now, for the backend updates, Diego Sampaio, what's going on over there?
Hello there. Yeah. So since we were actually working on the for the next release, which are not supposed, it's becoming a mainly bug fixes, with mainly bug fixes. So there is not nothing too excited to share, but we have been working a few things I could share that I think are the most exciting ones. There's a fix for the web dev integration that apparently was broken for a good time. I'm sorry for that. Not sure how how long it was broken. A few new things that are coming are you can now have a channel to receive notifications about failed login attempts. That's a feature Rocket.Chat has for a good time now, but previously was uh, only outputting to the server logs. Now you can also uh, stream direct to a channel, which might be cool. And you can also now prevent users from, not now, but for the next release, prevent users from using the invisible status. There was a community request and long time request that is finally merged into the product. Yeah, we are as usual expecting a release candidate on the 20th. So later this week, and the final release on 7th next week. We are internally discussing about changing the release cycles, so you might have to stay tuned about that, on news about that. And on the another news from the backend team, we will start for the next sprint that also starts this week as the apps team. We'll be discussing a new folder infrastructure for the backend code. We have been through a lot of changes during the previous years. Like when the early times we used Meteor packages. Now we are using folders used to that now are a direct I don't know that are now as the previous Meteor packages used to be. And so now we are looking to a more organized way for the files, like a meaningful way, which they are spread all over the place. Like Meteor methods are spread among features, and yeah, it's a mess. So we are probably causing some conflicts in some pull requests, but hopefully not. Moving files around Git usually works good for that. So yeah, just a heads up. And yeah, that's it for the backend.
Nice, thanks. I don't know. Honestly, for me, like the new folder structure, for me is exciting. I don't know.
Yeah, but yeah, it is exciting, but we don't have a picture of the new structure
Mm,
yet.
yeah,
So not that exciting to share, but definitely I think that at the end will look very like a lot better to 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 navigate and find stuff.
awesome. Next up, we go to the cloud team. Aaron,
Hello.
what's up, man?
All right. So last couple of weeks, we guess kind of a highlight. We've been working on the marketplace and a new permission system. This is going to allow for the publishers to have non-owner users, maybe users that can only publish, but not actually, or only submit maybe new versions of the app, but not maybe publish or unpublish, that sort of thing. As well as for our staff to be able to allow, for kind of support users and that sort of thing. So it's kind of a big change that we've been working on. We have 2 new PMs for the cloud. So we have a SaaS PM and a marketplace PM. I hope I can find my words. So we're very excited to get those guys on board. So kind of been onboarding them the last couple weeks. And I guess with that, we're starting a new sprint today, as both backend and Apps Engine has been mentioned. So we're in the middle of the planning there for the next couple weeks. And I think it was not the last podcast, but the one before, I mentioned that we're changing our registry, our Docker registry. Just want to kind of bring that up. We actually had a blog post published, I think this last week, kind of going into detail what that looks like. So if you use our Docker image, it's, go check our blog out, read the details. But I guess the highlight, if you didn't hear the last one, is basically we're changing so that we can not be so reliant on Docker Hub. It'll be registry.rocket.chat instead of, I guess, under the hood, hub. Whatever. And also, will allow us to get some more useful metrics. Docker just kind of tells us million plus. Okay, what is, there's a lot of granularity to a million pools, right? So we'll be able to see a lot more useful information to kind of help us with planning. Definitely check the post out for more information. There's a lot of stuff there. That's it for the cloud team.
Okie doke. Thank you. Lucia, later we can practice how to say your last name, please.
Yeah, it's something. Yeah, no worries. Nobody can say it correctly, so especially first time. So, hey everyone,
Can you please say it, Lucia?
Yeah, yes, of course. Gebhosian. Gebhosian.
Oh,
Nice.
Cian. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, well, hi everyone. I'm excited to join the podcast. And for us, like the last couple of weeks, we kind of finished the deploying and the hardening of the new Bastion servers for our US region. And we are using the OVH the Bastion. So that for us, we still need to finalize like the final steps for the bootstrapping of our access on the actual target nodes. But the idea is that we can go for a more role-based access control using this Bastion, and also it brings traceability and auditability. So we are recording sessions now, so everything that happens in our target hosts is being recorded now, which is nice. And apart from that, we also work a lot in automating our deployment method release process. We didn't have that any automation there, or only a little bit. So we work on our DigitalOcean marketplace app that maybe the community is aware of, and we plan to submit a new one now with using this method, and also to have our hopefully by the end of the week, our new first Rocket.Chat AMI, like in the AWS marketplace. And apart from that, we also worked in automating OS installation and the initial configuration tasks on our bare metal servers to be able to handle more easily hardware updates, or maybe moving machines from one region to another more easily. And apart from that, we are also starting our new sprint today, and we have the planning for the next 2 weeks right after this call, actually. So that's it for us.
Nice. I think we all have synced our sprint cycles, right? Okay.
I believe so.
Yeah.
And that's good. Makes things easier. All right. Thanks, Lucia. Next up, front end with Gazu. You go, man.
Hello. Hello, everybody. I'm quite sure that I already mentioned the exciting things, but maybe not on the podcast. So just to be sure, we have been working on fixes, but we have one one exciting to save this our front end part of the podcast. We finished the message parser. Then this is quite interesting. Like we have written grammar trying to cover all the markups that we are supposed to be supporting, and that is quite nice because we doing that we kind of avoid some uh, exceptions like code inside bold or like things that doesn't make sense in a easier way. And in the past we are handling this markdowns using raw HTML. That means that if for some reason or somehow we didn't escape something well or things, we kind of allow injections, whatever is the injection, like script or unwanted tags. And yeah, now the things should be covered, like, and even the handling processes should be faster because now the client don't need to discover the tags and they just need to travel between the tree and of like handle the stuff. And yeah, that's I know that this doesn't sound very excited, but it's, for sure is something good. I think even the mobile and the backend can use this for like improvement. Like if we need to filter these markups on the notification or whatever the message is like now it's just we need to write a new parser and like the code if you want or not this tag or not, and the message will be handled properly. And yeah, that's most it's still under like the not development, it's developed, and user need to sign in the user preference for this option, but we let this as a early adoption because since we made all this grammar in 4 days, maybe some cases not totally covered, and we don't want to disappoint you if your like loved markup was ignored for somehow. Then we let as a optional. And yeah, that's it.
Is it something that the client does or the server does it for you?
The server like evaluate the text and produce the tree, and the client only receive the tree. Like it's something that okay we can do on the client because it's the same language and the process, but will like bring more effort to the client than if we usually the server just need to do this once. Then it's like we are cheating a little bit because we are like putting the effort on the server to like bring more speed to the client, but it's how it's for the best, I think.
Yeah, it's for the best because the clients are not going to do some insane calculations just to find that specific regex to form paragraphs, for example.
Yeah, and the interesting that we insert like as a step on the message, but as soon as like Doug offered the npm modules for apps, we could install different grammars and enable or disable different tokens, right? Then this is interesting as well.
Cool.
Awesome.
It's not only me. Doug has to.
No, sorry,
enable
the apps
this is
engine,
the
apps engine,
team. Come on.
apps engine team. Yeah, right. But probably you will be in charge to merge. So as soon as Doug merge this, right?
God damn it. Okay.
But okay.
Right. Thanks, man. Next up, Mobile with Mellow. What up there?
Hello, everybody. Okay, so last week on the mobile team, we finished the Lingo Hub integration. So from now on, it's going to be easier to contribute to the internationalization of the app. It's centralized on the Lingo Hub, so it's easier. Also, we've been working. We're almost there actually, but we're finishing the full support to Teams. We're already reviewing everything and merging PRs. We're almost there. We are kind of in the middle of the implementation of jump to message. We already did the jumping to a message like a usual message. We did the jumping to a really old message and then having to load the surrounding ones. So we have, for example, 2 chunks of messages to load, and then on the older chunk you will have the load even older messages and a little newer ones, and then on some time. Eventually the chunks are going to be merged together, and we make sure that no message is lost. We already did the jump to threads, jump to messages from search, and on the roadmap or on the to-do list I have this wrote here. We still missing the jump from push notifications, from deep linking to a thread from another room, to a message from a channel not yet joined. We still need to make some tweaks on the performance and refactor some stuff, and we of course we need to write end-to-end tests. We're a few steps away from the next release, which is going to contain the full support to Teams. Probably next week we're going to release a beta, and the production release is probably by the end of May, and that's it. Thank you.
Okie dokie. Thanks for the updates. Next up, Omnichannel. Renato, what do you have for us?
Hey folks, on Omnichannel, the most exciting thing to share today is actually a long-awaited feature. I'm talking about an official integration between Rocket.Chat and WhatsApp. Our design team created a new user journey. I mean, a new UX for the onboarding and setup wizard. So now companies can easily connect multiple WhatsApp business numbers. They can define the behavior of each WhatsApp business number and other stuff like that. In order to set up new numbers, the customers will need to go through embedded sign-up process, and as soon as they get through the process, they will get the API keys they need to set up their WhatsApp numbers on Rocket.Chat. So in less than 10 minutes, companies can have their entire WhatsApp operation working through Rocket.Chat. It's a very nice feature, and I really encourage our audience to try it out. But also, the team has been working on a couple of issues over the last 2 weeks, and the highlights are a very annoying UI issue when resuming chats placed on hold. There was a bug, so when the agents resumed on hold chats, there is no reactivity, so they need to reload the client somehow, and then the client is now subscribed to the room. So now the team found and fixed this issue. Another issue to mention today is related to sound notification. Usually, a sound notification is emitted for new rooms when the routing system algorithm is manual selection. but this was not happening. And but again, the team found the problem and fixed it. And the last thing to mention today, another bug, is that Omnichannel monitors. It's a kind of supervisor role. They were not able to deal with Omnichannel departments. There is a required permission, but for some reason that permission was not granted to this role. So it's another issue that has been fixed. So the idea is to get those issues out as soon as possible. And that's it, guys. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Renato. Okay. I think like some last announcements here, or like mentions. One of them is from GSOC, where we actually like this has been the students have been just announced, the selected students with their selected projects. And now we are starting the community bonding period, where it's a month long, where the students go and learn more about the organization's community, and learn more also like about how they would execute their project with their proposal. So it's a very exciting moment for this GSOC program, and the coding should start next month on June. Also, Wednesday is Rocket.Chat's 6th birthday. Hooray! Join me in the hooray! Hooray, please!
Woot woot!
Thank you.
Hooray!
There you go. Yeah, so I think there's going to be like some commemoration. Is that a word? I got a blank.
Celebration.
Celebration.
Celebrating.
Thank you. Celebration. Yes, and we're going to. Well, most likely there will be like some kind of interaction over the social media, and we're gonna have something internal as well for us to like
Cake.
celebrate and
Cake.
yeah, a very virtual cake with a very industrial flavor. Anyways,
That digital flavor.
yeah. Anyways, yeah, I think that's it. Oh no, also, let's not forget job openings. We have them. Check it out on jobs.rocket.chat, and we want you to join us in this mission. Yeah, and that's it. Thanks everyone for joining, and thanks everyone for listening and or watching this.
Bye-bye.
That's it. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
You have listened to Engineering Podcast. This episode is available as video on YouTube and audio on your favorite podcast application. For more information, contact community@rocket.chat and give us your feedback.